I'm going to present the next section on smart content and personalization. Very quick intro about myself. My name is David, and I work as a customer training specialist at HubSpot. I have been doing this role for about a year today, but I have been working for HubSpot for just over 3 years now. Prior to this role, as you can see there, I used to work on the localization team as a localization specialist working on international expansion projects, especially focusing on the Latin American and Iberian markets. The reason being I'm originally from Spain, in case you're wondering where this accent is from. There you have. And as a fun fact, as you can see there, I'm a language nerd. I've studied several languages throughout my career, but one of the languages I do not speak is Greek. And I say this for a reason that you will find out later in this presentation. A very quick background about what I do at HubSpot in my current role. I'm part of the classroom training team, and our mission is to educate and empower HubSpot customers throughout around the world to maximize the full potential of their HubSpot subscription. And we do this by creating and delivering training classes to groups face-to-face on marketing, sales, and CRM. So we cover the entire suite of products that HubSpot has, and we deliver this training to customers all over the world. So in essence, our team mission is to help our customers worldwide grow better through training and education. And because I work in training, it should come as no surprise that I have some learning objectives for us here. 3 very simple learning objectives that I'm hoping to get to together with you guys today. First of all, we're going to learn how we how we want to implement personalization in our website. That's the first thing we need to consider. Secondly, where we want to personalize, not just in random places. We need to be strategic about this. And thirdly, how we implement smart content rules depending on who our audience is and what our personalization goals are. So these are the 3 learning objectives that I'm hoping to get to by answering these 3 questions that make up our agenda for this session. First of all, why does personalization matter? Why should we, as marketers, implement personalization in our website? Second, what is smart content and how does it work in HubSpot? And third, how can you personalize your website? What steps should be taken to provide a personalized experience for your visitors? So by answering these 3 questions, we will be hopefully fulfilling those 3 learning objectives that I just presented. Any questions so far about what we can expect from this session? Okay, so first question, why does personalization matter? And I have a question for everyone here in the room. Where have you seen personalization recently? Can you think of an example of a personalized experience that you've had with a business? Or if you can't recall any, maybe you can name 1 or 2 companies that you think do really good at personalization. What companies come to mind?
Very good. They're becoming very good at it. They do personalised website. So like you walk around and we'll send you a home page that is the last product you walked at.
Cool. Yeah, very cool example. Thank you. Anyone else? 1 or 2 more examples about offering a personalized experience? Sorry? Amazon, very good example. Netflix, yeah. And actually, you're giving away my presentation, but I'm going to show you some real-life examples of personalization. The first one comes from Spotify. We are all familiar with Spotify. So Spotify creates some daily mixes, some personalized playlists for its users based on the songs and the artists that they listen to more frequently. But on top of that, they also create some Discover Weekly playlist with new artists, new songs that they have not listened to, but are similar to their music tastes. So really good personalized experience for Spotify users there. Amazon was just mentioned, really good example of hyper-personalization. Buy it again. It offers the possibility to automatically buy products that we have purchased in the past across different product categories. Okay? When we go into a product category, it also gives us the option to buy related products that other customers have bought within these product categories. So it gives us like a full array of choices within each product category. Netflix was already mentioned as well. it has a top picks category for each individual user. And this is content that has been customized for me. But on top of that, it breaks it down per category, per genre, based on my past behaviors, meaning based on the TV shows that I have watched on Netflix. And we're not here to judge my taste. We're here to focus on how personalized Netflix can get. And I really like this other example from My Taxi. Is anyone familiar with My Taxi? They are called Free Now. Today, they just changed their name. But I got this email from them a couple of months ago, leveraging demographic information, my name, like Amazon, Netflix, or Spotify can do as well, and also behavioral information. It's been a while since you used My Taxi, and that was true. It had been a long time since I used their service. So they shared a discount voucher with me to try and re-engage me. So a totally different use of personalization here, from delighting our customers like Spotify or Netflix are doing, to try and reconnect with unengaged customers, with passive customers. Okay, so two different ways of using personalization there. Personalization can be very effective, but it can also go very wrong. The reason why I said don't speak Greek is because I keep receiving these emails from Wish in Greek. I said I don't speak Greek. I haven't been to Greece recently, unfortunately. I haven't set up my preferred language as Greek. So I'm still trying to figure out why I get so many emails from Wish in Greek. Personalization matters from a user experience, as we just saw, but it also matters for you and your business. 94% of businesses agree that personalization is key for their success. I can see some people nodding here. 67% of digital consumers expect personalization based on their context, based on my demographic information and based on the actions that I have completed before on these platforms. And 29% of digital consumers feel frustrated when content isn't optimized for their devices. Think when you're using your mobile device, you open a website page, extremely long, extremely hard to consume, you're probably going to close it rather than reading. So really important considerations for implementing personalization there. It also has, of course, positive results for your business. Conversion rates improve on average by 20%. And also 84% of consumers take action based on personal recommendations. I watch the TV shows that Netflix recommends, I buy the product that Amazon has there for me, or I may listen to the songs that Spotify suggests. So people do actually take actions based on personal recommendations when we consider their past behaviors, their past actions. We know personalization is important by this point. 77% of marketers believe it is critical. But what really shocks me is that 74% struggle to personalize effectively. So that's a really high percentage that we need to address, we need to fix. So what we're trying to do here is to go from here, from offering a single experience that is the same for all of our visitors, to here, to offering a unique, highly customized experience for each individual visitor. And the way for us to get there is through smart content. Is anyone here already using smart content in HubSpot? I got quite a few people over there. Okay, so second question that we have in our agenda today, what is smart content and how does it work? Smart content is a feature in HubSpot that changes the content that is displayed based on some viewer characteristics that we choose ourselves. And we have 6 different categories, or 6 different sets of rules that we can apply. Device type, referral source, country, preferred language, lifecycle stage, and list membership. That's the basics of smart content. We apply a rule and we modify the content to be displayed to those visitors who meet this criteria. 2 very basic considerations when we're implementing smart content. You need to ask yourselves, first of all, who is your audience? Who are you personalizing for? This will help you choose the right rules for your audience. If you're personalizing for anonymous visitors, you want to choose between device type, referral source, country, or preferred language, because this is information that we can gather from visitors even if they're not contacts in our CRM yet. If we are personalizing for our contacts, for known visitors, we want to leverage the lifecycle stage and list membership filters, because this will allow for us to use the information that we have collected about them to offer a highly personalized experience for them. And the second question, what are we personalizing? What elements on our website do we want to change? Do we want to personalize? Within HubSpot, we can personalize these three elements: rich text modules, calls to action, and forms. These are the three elements where we can implement smart content. So how do we go about building or implementing a smart content in action in HubSpot? Three very basic and simple steps to get there. First of all, make your modules smart. When you identify a place on your website where you want to implement smart content, go to the module. Remember, it needs to be a rich text module, and select the button Make Smart. When you click there, you will be automatically prompted to apply your filters, to apply your smart content rules. Again, think of your audience. Who are you personalizing for? Let's imagine I'm personalizing for visitors coming from the UK. I would choose country equals UK. And then HubSpot will give me the option to modify the copy that will be displayed on my website to visitors that meet this filter, to visitors that are coming from the UK. Very simple steps to implement smart content in our website. One key consideration here is that for every piece of smart content that we implement, there will be a default version. This default version will be displayed for everyone that doesn't meet my filter, everyone that does not come from the UK. As a best practice, try to keep your default content module as generic, as broad as possible, so that it makes sense for everyone else, so that it makes sense for people who are visiting your website for the first time. Just try to keep that in mind when you're creating smart content in HubSpot. Enough theory for now, because now I want to show you some examples of smart content in action. And I'm going to use this company as an example, Solar Boost. This is a fictional company that I made up. It's not a real company. It's not my intended business, so feel free to copy these examples if you want. And it's a company that sells solar panels to businesses and individual consumers. So it has a B2B and a B2C line of business. The first example I want to show you guys is based on device type, one of these filters that we can apply for smart content. Two questions that Solar Boost could be asking themselves when applying this filter. First question, how easy is it to read your content on a mobile device? If I was working on the marketing team or the web team of Solar Boost, I would go to my web version of these modules and I would do an audit. And I would compare this with a mobile device. We can all agree that having this much text and a visual on a mobile screen would probably hinder the user experience. So I could remove the image, I could shorten the text to provide a leaner, a cleaner, and better experience for mobile users. Second question, how easy is it to fill out your forms on a mobile device? Same procedure, same approach. I would first review my web version forms, and I would create a shorter, leaner version for mobile devices. By removing some fields, as you can see, only 3 fields in the mobile form, but also by making the labels shorter. What type of solar panels are you interested in became type of solar on a mobile device, to make sure that mobile users are having a good user experience there as well. The second example is based on the Lifecycle stage, another filter that we can apply. And to understand how we can implement this successfully, I want to spend a couple of minutes on the buyer's journey. Probably most of you are familiar with the buyer's journey, which is the research process that a prospective buyer will go through before buying something from you. And it's structured into these 3 different stages: awareness, consideration, and decision. When someone is at the awareness stage, they're not looking at any products, they're not looking at any company yet. They're only educating themselves. They're trying to validate a problem or a need, something that they need to address, something that they need to fix. Only when they are aware of that problem, they start considering different solutions, different products or services that will help them fix that. And only in the decision stage do they begin to research and compare different companies and different vendors. That's when they start looking at your company and at your products and services. Solar Boost has different pieces of content, different types of content for each stage of the buyer's journey. More educational content for the awareness stage, like blog, ebooks, guides, etc. More product-specific content for the consideration stage, like expert reports, FAQs, or webinars. And more vendor or company-specific content for the decision stage, like case studies, pricing sheets, or consultations with your experts. The way Solar Boost implemented smart content across the buyer's journey was with a smart CTA. They had a default CTA, check out our blog, that was, remember, broad enough, generic enough to make sense for everyone that visits your website. But then they created two different smart variations, one for the consideration stage, download our solar panel checklist, and another one for the decision stage, book a consultation with a solar expert. And they applied the different life cycle stages for the consideration and decision stage. The third example that I'm going to show you is based on list membership, another filter that we can apply here. In order to leverage this filter, we need to have previously built 1, 2, or however many lists you need in the list tool in HubSpot, which allows for us to essentially segment our contact database based on whatever criteria we choose. You could, for example, build a list to segment based on your buyer persona. And that's what Solar Boost did here. They have two primary buyer personas. They have Household Harry, who is their B2C buyer persona, and Business Beth, who is their B2B buyer persona. So they started collecting this information from their contacts using a field on a form. Where would you like to install solar? If I select I want to install solar panels at home, I will be automatically tagged as Household Harry. If I choose I want to install solar panels in my business, I would be tagged as Business Beth. So they are automatically segmenting me into B2C or B2B based on my answer. Once they start collecting this information, they build two different lists in the list tool in HubSpot. One for Household Harry and another one for Business Beth. So they're segmenting their contact database this way. And with this information available, they can go on to create smart content specifically designed for each persona. So they can identify portions or sections on their website that could be customized for each buyer persona to display content that is more relevant for B2C, reduce your electric bill, or for B2B, join the green business. So another way that you can leverage smart content based on buyer personas. Third question, we're getting there, that we want to address today is how you can start personalizing your website. And I want to leave you guys these 4 steps that are very simple and very actionable to start personalizing. First of all, define your audience. Remember, who are you personalizing for? Maybe you're personalizing for your buyer personas, for contacts from a specific country, for a marketing qualified lead, sales qualified lead, for your contacts in a specific life cycle stage. This will help you determine what rules you need to apply later. Second step, audit your website. Identify where you want to implement smart content, which text modules, CTAs, or forms. As a best practice, don't implement all 3 types of smart content on a single page, or too many smart content modules on a single page, because it won't be a great user experience either, and it will add too many layers of complexity for you to manage. So keep it simple and keep it easy to manage. Third step, create your smart content by applying the rules that you have determined when you designed or when you thought about your audience. Think of what rules will help you reach your intended audience. And lastly, review your performance. If you're personalizing a rich text module, have a look at the page view metrics. If you're personalizing a CTA, CTA clicks, or form submissions, if you're implementing smart content on a form. So just to recap, these are the 3 questions that I wanted to address here with you. Why does personalization matter on the first hand? What is smart content? How does it work? And how can you personalize your website? Before I showed you some resources that you can also have a look at to gather more information about this, I want to leave with a key takeaway, that is, personalization means adapting your business to your consumers. It doesn't mean making your consumers learn Greek, as this company is trying to make me do. And like I said, here are some resources that you can go to gather more information and educate yourselves about this. HubSpot Academy has free certifications and lessons on many topics, including contextual marketing, which is very related to smart content, personalization, the buyer's journey, and HubSpot CMS to master how we implement smart content. And also on the knowledge base, you'll find more technical oriented help in our user guides and articles on smart content, lists, calls to action, and forms. Okay, guys, thank you so much for, thank you guys.